The commentary done by Diggity, bottom left hand corner. We got Sva starting as the orange Terran. Bottom right hand corner, we got Ardor Turtle starting as the green Zerg. I actually really like Ardor Turtle and his style of play. I think he is very detail-oriented here and there. I feel like he's got really solid Zerg play, and honestly, I'm kind of what he's... There are a couple guys I've seen going through like Choba League and Hasu League and in the Brood War Clan Leagues and whatever not, and I kind of wait for them to surge over time. Ardor Turtle's one of those guys I'm waiting to surge. I feel like at the last New York land, he did not play up to his potential. I think he ended up, I think, against Gypsy. And I think he saw the name and then just ended up not playing his usual game, and as a result didn't end up playing to his full potential, if that makes any sense. I'm hoping he has a good run here. He's also super clutch. He remembered last time how hot it was and how honestly dehydrated we were all getting, and he brought a big cooler full of water, which just shows you the type of guy he is. Really like this guy. Also got to share an Airbnb with him and Semi, which I realized I needed to not do this time, not because I don't like those guys, but because I like those guys a lot. And as a result, I would end up just staying up till 3 a.m. the night before their tournament and me casting, talking StarCraft and watching StarCraft with them. So I'm like, let me avoid that danger this time and actually get myself a hotel room. It's weird. I wish I could actually do that sort of hanging out, like have an extra day or two or something like that, just to hang out and watch StarCraft and talk StarCraft afterwards, because it's just fun. Anyway, it looks like we're seeing an overpool bottom right hand corner. We have a front door seal already for Sva. Sva, if you do not know, is a team liquid. Sorry, tired. Still recovering from the LAN. That's about as big a mistake as you can make. So Artosis' chat. He's a mod. So accustomed to saying like anyone with authority in the StarCraft community is a Team Liquid admin. I guess they're the Brood War Reddit admins, but no, Sva is Artosis admin, so he is used to dealing with sludge and all the horrors that are there. But also one of the guys who really helps quite a bit with aspects of the tournament organization, with making sure people are queued up and all sorts of stuff like that. So I feel a bit of kinship because I feel like all the moderators, actually Homesmack was there as well, another moderator from, although he wasn't a player, he was just kind of hanging out and watching. I definitely felt, I feel like we have our own degree of camaraderie. It's like, God, the things we have to look at on a regular basis and deal with. Sixlings on their way. SCV making its way bottom right. Looks like he is going to get the first scout. 3 Marines. So we're going to have 3 Marines out in the field to try to converge, but this is a disaster because, well, Ardor Turtle now getting a good surround is going to easily be able to clean all of this up. And now you actually also, on top of this, you're going to have 3 stranded SCVs. Did I miss an 8 racks? I don't think that was an 8 racks. But if it was an 8 racks, yeah, just absolute disaster. And now the secondary question is Sva going to be able to defend his front? Could have been, I'm so busy talking about Ardor Turtle, I missed the 8 racks. But, oof. I gotta say, and Ardor Turtle going up and testing. And here's the other problem for Sva. He's got 3, if Ardor Turtle's Swift on it, there's 3 stranded SCVs out here, which would have maybe helped from scouting, but point being, this is a fairly big economic... This is going to put Sva way behind as far as a turnaround builder. We'll have to see where it plays. We already have a halfway tech delayer in the midst of this. We got the natural expansion, a little bit light, but online. Maybe some tournament nerves in the midst of it. We have the command center getting dropped. No gas as of yet for Sva. And just 2 Zerglings hanging out. But so in the exchange, Ardor Turtle is going to have a pretty big tech lead. And he's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with the Mutalisk turnaround as the secondary problem because he lost the initial set of Marines. He's not going to have medics. So honestly, Sva's best bet is to probably go 2 or 3 racks, get an engineering bay down, plop down an immense amount of turrets, and hope Ardor Turtle overcommits to the Mutalisk play. But he's going to need that engineering base sooner rather than later, and then just try to stave off and hold. With this, though, so instead, going to charge forward with his Marines and SCVs. Maybe the very nice discipline there from Ardor Turtle. So seeing whether that was an actual commit or not, dropping an initial sunken colony and a nice adjustment, recognizing that it was a fake out, and pulling back out. Is Sva going to go back out again? And Ardor Turtle this time with Zergling speed, keeping an eye on the front to watch the Marine move out. There's a certain line where they cross where you need that sunken colony. So now the Zergling's dead. So now he's probably going to need to put down Sunken Colony. He did emergency build a handful of Lings. But this is still not going to be so... this is still not going to be so much that it's a big trouble. And that does hurt Art of Turtle's economy slightly in the midst of this. But I'm still concerned about Sva's ability to just flat survive. And it looks like he did go Engineering Bay before Academy. He's going to have to invest very, very heavily in turrets in the midst of this. And he lifted up the barracks to try to pull it back. And as a result, the Marines getting surrounded and slaughtered. And this was already at a disadvantage. Nice drill, though, on the worker line. That was the worst timing to lift. Natural expansion completely emptied and exposed. Even fewer Marines. So as soon as Mutalisks take flight, this game is over, honestly. There's no amount of turrets. That was way too early to pull that out. Yeah, Sva honestly might want to lift the command center and bring it back to his main right this second if he's planning on staying in this. He's got the engineering bay up. He needs a turret. He needs a lot of turrets down. Doesn't have the resources to really make it happen. Second gas getting dropped from Art of Turtle. And an in-base third hatchery. We have an initial 6 Mutalisks being constructed. And Sva... So Art of Turtle even on supply. Sva in a awful situation right now. He's got, what, 4 Marines to his name? That sure, they can go into a bunker at the natural, but he's way off range. He's way off stim pack. And he doesn't have the turrets in position here. And we already have the turrets interior to the base. The turrets are late. So Sva desperately trying to line up SCVs to get the turrets planted. I don't even know if this is going to happen. The Marines making their way up now. But already, SCVs have lost their lives in significant numbers. Art Turtle can go ahead and sidle out, grab an additional base. Oof, rough. One Mutalisk does die in the midst of this, which makes it a little bit hard to micro against this. But honestly, okay, they just need to pull out of that line. They can just go ahead and walk over the... Okay, there. At least there's a turret, a handful of turrets there. Art Turtle, a little bit merciful here and not completely going for a plug there. But Art Turtle should go ahead and grab a third in the midst of this. He's gotten a little bit passive here with this in-base third hatchery in the midst. He's got 6 Mutalisks out in the field. There's still a lot of damage to be done. Once he waits for 3 more Mutalisks, which an easy investment for him here, and also adding a round of drones. Plopping down Sunken Colonies he doesn't necessarily need at this stage, but Sva just... Art of Turtle's up on workers, which is usually never the situation you want to be in as a Terran versus Zerg. Art of Turtle just going to wait for the Mutalisks to go up. He could build some Zerglings if he wanted to. I think this was a misclick with the Scourge. Maybe he's expecting a dropship. I don't expect anything along those lines. But he's going to have... Yeah, already took down a turret on that corner, so Sva has to be careful with the stims, because he doesn't have a lot of medics in the midst of this. Going to end up... Ooh, a bit of a supply block for Art of Turtle. I think this is tournament nerves in the midst of this. So able to wipe out that supply depot along that corner. It's not going to supply box Sva, primarily just because he's so anemic as far as his raw worker count. 1 Mutalisk out of the bunch, but this is going to be an easy breezy play from here. More Scourge gathering up for Art of Turtle. I wonder if he was expecting a dropship or quick science vessel, something along those lines, but we don't even have a factory down yet for Sva. So all Art of Turtle has to do, he can grab the nearby third if he wants. He can actually just go all in Mutalisk as well. Grabbing, he could go crazy Zerg as well, grabbing a Hydralisk Den about halfway. A bit on, he's still way ahead as far as tech, he's way ahead as far as workers. He's in a very, very comfortable position. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't grabbed a third yet, which is giving Sva some options in the midst of this, but Sva still in a really bad situation. Could be he's also being merciful to Sva overall. 3 barracks there for Sva. He's managed to get at least a control group of Marines out, but with the overstimming, he's also depleted his medics of energy, which means a lot of these Marines with this next stim are gonna... The medics are effectively spent at this stage, and we don't have a second round of medics that have been produced as of yet. +1 weapons about halfway complete, range about complete, and this is probably going to be an overwhelming... We got a drone out in front. This is going to be an overwhelming amount of Mutalisks, honestly, especially without medic support. So grouping up in there, and now that that area is vacated, Art of Turtle just going to patrol around that natural, but still... Okay, there's the third. This third coming pretty late, honestly, for Art of Turtle. he could go ahead and expand twice, and there's not a lot Sva can do about it. And he might do that. Is the drone going to come back to home base? But anyway, it's going to be a minute for +1, and range is in place. We have lurkers being constructed. So Arctic Turtle right now, maybe he's just going to stick to 2 bases and press from there. 9 Mutalisks out in the air, going to make his way into the main, picks off the medic, going over the line, eating a lot of turret fire. This is actually donating a lot of Mutalisks to Sva right this second. 3rd base up. Let's see if he moves a drone into position, or he could honestly move a drone into position, build the 3rd gas. He's going to have some additional lings making the way out. He could crush this. He's up 20 supply right now. Up 20 supply. And so he could just bear down. Do we have new medics out here? So looks like we got another new medic. But again, after the stimming from Sva, they're a bit... Okay, we got 2 additional out here that have a bit to work with. But basically, it's still 2 medics because these 2 are highly depleted, depending on when this next engagement happens. 3rd base up for Arctic Turtle. Mutalisks making their way towards the main. I presume to go ahead and draw those troops back. He's got a line of lurkers in between. So now that a little bit too early on that, but doesn't matter. The lurkers at forward position. A little bit further out, but Sva losing control of some of these Marines as well. And the Mutalisks swarming back around to go ahead and engage. Lurkers coming from the opposite angle now with a bit of support. 1 lurker dies on the low ground before it's able to burrow, and Arctic Turtle not engaging, honestly, as well as I've seen him capable of. So I feel like this is definitely tournament nervousness. He doesn't have that 3rd gas up. So I think this is, tournament nervousness on both ends here. Lurkers and Lings gathering up, now going to swarm in. Could also be, he knows he's way, way ahead. And in such an advantageous situation, he doesn't really have to worry about it. And so just wanted to go ahead and work out a little bit of the cruft while he can. Lurkers all the way up the main. Whenever you get lurkers on the barracks line like this, it's bad news because you can basically swipe the Marines as they're spawning. Factory is actually up with machine shop, but the starport getting leveled. SCVs having to fight for themselves against the Zerglings at the natural expansion. And the supply count continues to plummet. More Mutalisks just going to go ahead and make their way in. Sva going to GG, and Arctic Turtle takes game 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.